High above the bustling streets of Rio de Janeiro, shrouded in mist and mystery, lies Vintim Hill. This seemingly tranquil peak, cloaked in verdant greenery, holds a secret, a chilling tale that has baffled investigators and ignited imaginations for decades. It's a story of strange deaths, enigmatic clues, and whispers of the unknown, a tale that began on a fateful August day in 1966. The air hung heavy with humidity, the city below a distant hum, as the sun cast long shadows through the foliage. A sense of foreboding seemed to permeate the very air itself, a premonition of the unsettling discovery soon to be unearthed on the secluded hillside. For on that day, fate led an unsuspecting electrician and his young companion up the winding path, unaware they were about to stumble into the heart of a mystery that would echo through time. The tranquility of the hilltop stood in stark contrast to the bustling city below. A sense of isolation permeated the air, broken only by the chirping of unseen insects and the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. Little did they know that the serene facade concealed a darkness, a mystery waiting to be revealed, a story that would soon capture the attention of not only a nation, but the entire world. Jorge da Costa Alves, a man accustomed to the routine of wires and circuits, never expected to become entangled in a real-life enigma. His days were usually filled with the hum of electricity and the precision of his craft, a world where every problem had a logical solution. He had taken a break from work, venturing up the familiar slopes of Vintim Hill with his young friend, a boy full of energy and curiosity. The hillside was a place of solace for Jorge, a retreat from the complexities of his daily life. The boy, eager to explore, ran ahead, his laughter echoing through the trees. The sound of his joy was infectious, filling the forest with a sense of carefree adventure. But the laughter died abruptly, replaced by a sharp gasp of horror. The sudden change in the boy's demeanor was like a jolt, snapping Jorge out of his peaceful reverie. Jorge, his heart pounding, rushed towards the sound, fearing an accident. His mind raced with possibilities, each more dreadful than the last. What he found was far more sinister. The scene before him was something out of a nightmare, a tableau of death and mystery. Lying in the undergrowth amidst the trampled vegetation were two bodies. The sight was surreal, as if the forest itself had conspired to hide this dark secret. The men were dressed in their finest suits, their faces obscured by strange lead masks. The juxtaposition of their formal attire against the wild backdrop of the forest was jarring. The sight sent a shiver down Jorge's spine. He had seen death before, but never like this. This was something unnatural, something that defied explanation. This was no ordinary tragedy. The air was thick with an unsettling energy, a sense of foreboding that seemed to seep into his very bones. A palpable sense of wrongness hung in the air, a chilling whisper that spoke of something deeply unsettling. It was as if the forest itself was alive, watching, waiting. Instinct took over, and he knew he had stumbled upon something truly bizarre, something that would forever shatter the tranquility of the hillside. This was a discovery that would haunt him for the rest of his life. The men lay on their backs, their arms resting by their sides, almost posed. It was as if they had been carefully arranged, a macabre display for anyone who might find them. Their suits, though slightly askew, were immaculate, a stark contrast to the untamed wilderness surrounding them. The pristine condition of their clothing only added to the mystery. But it was the masks that truly chilled the blood. These were not ordinary masks. They were crude, almost primitive, yet they carried an air of malevolence. Crudely fashioned, they covered the men's entire heads, leaving only small openings for their eyes, now vacant and staring into eternity. The emptiness in those eyes was haunting, a void that seemed to pull at Jorge's soul. The lead, dull and cold, seemed to whisper of something sinister, something beyond human comprehension. It was as if the masks themselves held a dark secret, a connection to a world beyond our own. Jorge couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone. The forest seemed to close in around him, the shadows deepening, the silence growing heavier. Despite the fear gnawing at his insides, Jorge knew he had to act. This was a mystery that demanded answers, a puzzle that needed to be solved. With trembling hands, he pulled out his phone and dialed emergency services. As he waited for help to arrive, he couldn't help but wonder what had led these men to such a fate. Who were they? What had brought them to this remote hillside? And why the lead masks? Questions swirled in his mind, each more perplexing than the last. The masks, with their vacant eye openings, seemed to mock him, offering no clues, only deepening the enigma. Jorge knew that this discovery was just the beginning. The truth, whatever it was, lay hidden beneath layers of mystery and fear, and he was determined to uncover it, no matter the cost. As the forest whispered its secrets, Jorge steeled himself for the journey ahead. The hillside, once a place of peace, had become a gateway to the unknown, and he was ready to step through. The deceased, it would soon be determined, were Manuel Pereira de Cruz and Miguel José Viana, two electronic technicians from Niterói. Their story, however, is far from ordinary. They were last seen alive on August 17, 1966, 4 days before their bodies were discovered. The days leading up to their disappearance were filled with unusual activities and cryptic clues. Manuel, a family man known for his quiet demeanor, had been working on a project involving the construction of a rudimentary communication device. This project had consumed much of his time and energy, and he often spoke of its potential to revolutionize their field. Miguel, younger and more outgoing, had joined him, drawn by the allure of the unknown. He was fascinated by the possibilities that lay beyond the conventional, always eager to explore new frontiers. Their journey, it seemed, was one shrouded in secrecy. They had been seen carrying a mysterious briefcase and speaking in hushed tones about their plans. They had told their families they were traveling to Sao Paulo to purchase equipment for their project. However, their true destination was far more enigmatic. Yet, they had ventured not south, but to the heart of Rio, to the enigmatic slopes of Vintem Hill. What drew them there? The hill was known for its eerie atmosphere and strange occurrences, a place where the line between reality and the supernatural seemed a blur. What secrets did they seek amidst the whispering trees and the watchful gaze of the Cristo Redentor statue in the distance? The hill had long been a place of mystery, with local legends speaking of hidden treasures and otherworldly encounters. Their true motives, like the masks they wore in death, remained an enigma. The masks, made of lead, were unlike anything seen before, adding another layer of mystery to their already perplexing story. The men were, by all accounts, ordinary citizens leading ordinary lives. Their sudden and inexplicable journey to Vintem Hill left their families and friends in shock and disbelief. Manuel, a devoted husband and father, was known for his meticulous nature and unwavering dedication to his work. He was a man of routine, rarely deviating from his daily schedule, making his sudden disappearance all the more baffling. Miguel, unmarried and full of youthful energy, possessed a sharp mind and a thirst for knowledge, often immersing himself in books and diagrams. His curiosity knew no bounds, and he was always on the lookout for the next big discovery. What could have possibly led these two seemingly ordinary men to their demise on the desolate slopes of Vintem Hill? The questions surrounding their deaths remain unanswered, leaving a haunting legacy that continues to intrigue and mystify to this day. The hill, with its secrets and shadows, stands as a silent witness to their ill-fated journey, a journey that has left more questions than answers. The scene on Vintem Hill whispered of a mystery far stranger than anyone could have imagined. The air was thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves. It was as if the forest itself was holding its breath, waiting for the secrets to be uncovered. Beside the bodies lay a scattering of seemingly unrelated objects, a waterproof raincoat folded neatly, an empty water bottle, and a few other personal items that seemed out of place in such a desolate setting. Each item, though mundane on its own, collectively painted a picture of confusion and intrigue. Among these items was a small, empty package that had once contained 2 pills. The presence of this package raised more questions than it answered. What were these pills for? Were they part of a larger plan, or simply a coincidence? These seemingly mundane items, out of place in the wilderness, only deepened the enigma. The forest, with its eerie silence and misty atmosphere, seemed to guard its secrets jealously, adding to the sense of foreboding that hung in the air. What purpose did they serve? The investigators were left to ponder the significance of each item. Were they clues left behind intentionally, or merely remnants of the victim's final moments? The line between the two was blurred, making it difficult to discern the truth. Were they clues left behind intentionally, a breadcrumb trail leading to the truth, or were they simply the last vestiges of a desperate attempt to survive? The investigators meticulously arranged the items, hoping to find a pattern or a hidden message within the chaos, or merely remnants of the victim's final moments. The forest floor, littered with these objects, seemed to tell a story of its own. A story of fear, confusion, and perhaps a glimmer of hope that was ultimately extinguished. But it was a small notebook clutched in Manuel's hand that truly sent chills down the spines of the investigators. The notebook, worn and weathered, seemed to hold the key to the mystery. Its pages, filled with cryptic writing, hinted at a plan that was both intricate and dangerous. Inside, scrawled in hurried handwriting, was a cryptic message. 4:30 p.m. Be at the agreed place. 6:30 p.m. Swallow capsules. After effect protect metals. Wait for the signal. The message, though brief, was loaded with implications. After effect protect metals. Wait for the signal. The words hinted at a plan, a rendezvous shrouded in secrecy and danger. The specific times and instructions suggested a level of coordination and intent that was chilling in its precision. The words hinted at a plan, a rendezvous shrouded in secrecy and danger. The investigators could only speculate about the nature of this meeting. Was it a clandestine operation gone wrong or something more sinister? But what did it all mean? What were the capsules? The investigators examined the capsules closely, trying to determine their purpose. Were they meant to protect, to harm, or to induce some kind of altered state? What signal were they waiting for? The mention of a signal added another layer of complexity to the mystery. What kind of signal could it be? A light? A sound? Or something more abstract? The possibilities were endless, and each one more unsettling than the last. The note, far from providing answers, only amplified the mystery. The more the investigators read it, the more questions it raised. Each line seemed to lead to another dead end, another puzzle to be solved. The note, its paper creased and slightly damp, felt heavy with unspoken words. The weight of the paper seemed to mirror the weight of the mystery itself, pressing down on the investigators as they struggled to make sense of it all. Each carefully written line seemed to pulsate with urgency, with an undercurrent of fear. The handwriting, though hurried, was precise, as if the writer knew that every word mattered, with an undercurrent of fear. The fear was palpable, seeping through the ink and into the minds of the investigators. It was a fear of the unknown, of what lay ahead, and of the consequences of failing to uncover the truth. The agreed place, the capsules, the signal, these phrases, seemingly ripped from a spy thriller, painted a picture of clandestine meetings and dangerous experiments. The investigators couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of discovering something monumental, something that could change everything. Was this a simple rendezvous gone wrong, or was there something more sinister, more inexplicable at play? The forest, with its dark, looming presence, seemed to hold the answers, but it wasn't ready to give them up just yet. Or was there something more sinister, more inexplicable at play? The investigators were left to ponder this question, knowing that the truth, whatever it was, would be far stranger than they could have ever imagined.